Here it is. So I'm just going to walk. I'm not even going to fight these guys. I'll let them, by all these guys I'll fight and I'll help a little bit. Sometimes the Merc can't, like, perfectly clear them. So now I'm going to stand in the middle of this thing. Maybe I'll walk a little bit just to move, I guess. I don't know why. There's our health. Let's see if we can be killed. We'll do a full test. The depth 312. Standing here. What are our defenses at? 108. Minus 45 on that. Our armor is up to 12,000. It's not normal. I don't know how it got so high there. It was at 5,000, but decent. It's probably, oh, it's because of this thing running. That's why. I was like, wait a second. I wonder if we take that off while I die. Let's see. Let's take that off, and our defense now is 6,000. Let's take that off, and we'll do one more node to test that out. Oh, so I didn't even attack there, and we won that node. I guess we'll fight this guy off. Now we're going to do one more test to see how this goes right over here. Without that healing potion on there, or healing armor potion. Which way is he going, right? Up this way? Let's see what happens then. Maybe we'll die. Okay. Let's start this test again. Maybe we'll die. We're going to find out together. Alright. How much armor do I have to take off? Would I take off this too? Alright, we're going to test it out. We're going to take this off. It's a lot of health. Take off. Alright, we're taking it off. Oh, it's getting low. So far, so good. No armor. There, 3,000 armor. Only 30% reduction. Minus 45 on that. It's scary. Alright. No, it doesn't matter, but we'll put that back on there. That back on there. And away we go. Let's finish this off. That was fun. 3,000 armor. And that's no evasion, no spell suppression, minus 45 on chaos resistance. It's pretty bad. And not even like overcapped max res or anything. Aw. Interesting belts. Hello and welcome back to Path of Exile, Secrets of the Atlas. This is a Berserker, Cyclone of Tumult player, and stacks a lot of life, and we have a good time with it. I just did a full... I did this demo once, and it was getting too drawn out. So that little clip that you just saw is a good representation of what we did. We can also do tier 17 bosses, face tanking those. Everything goes smoothly. At tier 17s were easy. The other bosses are going down smoothly. And I did a carry too, where I carried somebody else, so it makes the boss harder. But what you do is you invite them in, and then they get credit for the kill. So I was able to do that with this character too. So let's explain it all and how it works. And it's going to be in detail, so here we go. Down below in the description, there's going to be a link to the Path of Building, so you'll see this exact tree. And it'll show you the masteries on the side, like in Path of or in PoE.ninja. It'll show you the masteries over here, but stuff like this, don't miss out on that. Some of the key things on this tree that you don't want to miss out on. Don't know why I have that. Let's refund this, and we'll refund that one. Now we got an extra point to spend, and we'll deal with that in a second. This one right here, even though we're not in Blood Stance is by default, so that goes off there. Let's take, not the critical support gems. We could do the reduced extra damage from critical strikes. Or we could do that, yeah, we'll do that one. Or crit multi against unique enemies, so we do a little more damage. Let's go tankier. And this can be anything. There's a lot of leeway to play with this build. Cool. This is going to be important to take. Basically, as you can see, we have 0 evasion. We can't evade, but that's okay. It just allows you to ignore evasion. And it's a good thing that we get even the little hits matter. They actually help us when we're hit. But this can't be stunned is really, really crucial. You could do it by getting the Juggernaut one. Ascendancy, but that's expensive and it takes up 2 jewel slots then to get it. This is just cheap. It's easy. I went for it. The Timeless Jewel is really, really important. Look at all the stats that this thing gives you. It gives you all of that by putting that in there. This probably costs about a divine, so you can, I would definitely get this. And then what it does is it all these things that are highlighted, all of these within the circle, count as them being allocated. Whereas these, even though I clicked them, this one, and this one, are not, they deallocate. So it does like a reversal. See everything that's lighting up? Like these, not this one though. All the small ones. You get movement speed, you get some physical damage. I think there might even be some attack speed. I don't know. Yep, right there. Cool. And what I did with the jewels is just one of them has corrupted blood. That's going to save you from having to go all the way down in here and getting that middle one, that corrupted blood there. It's going to probably cost you a divine or two to get one. Just get any jewel that has corrupted blood on it, and then ideally you're going to get life, and then whatever else you need. Some armor. I don't like this one. I'll probably change it. I'll get a corrupted blood with more damage because I don't need armor, and I don't need the area damage. That's okay. But then I just got these 2 jewels, and these can be improved. Like that's 6%. It could be 7%. And the leech. This is where we get some leech too. Right here, here, and here. That's going to be important. So just pretty much try to copy this as much as you can. The other question, you want to look for this. It's tricky to filter for a Megalomaniac because there's like, I don't know, it feels like there's 300 different mods that can be added on there. But the important one is Devastator. Devastator is right here. It has, you know, you click this in here and it lights up all this whole thing. Then you just click there. Then you get Devastator, and that's going to make the pops, the explosions, where when you kill something, it hurts their, you know, their life pool is used as an explosive grenade or something, and it damages everyone around them. Plus, you get extra damage. And this one is helps with impales, and then this one is going to help with when we're channeling, because we're a Cyclone of Tumult. That's a channeling attack. So it just goes like that. And then we get some extra life regen as well. Our regen is around 2,000 per second. And then we're going to use blood magic. Blood magic you could use around level 35 or 40. And I'll show you how to set that up as well. But this is really important to do. And then there's a key thing with some skills that we'll go over that makes sure that you don't lose 50% of your health. Nice. Is there anything else on here? This is optional. You can go this way. This is optional. You could get a different jewel slot, but this one's pretty close. There is a jewel slot over here you could kind of work over to. There's some life over here as well somewhere. I think this is it. Here's another life node if you end up going over this way. There's some flexibility. And then the important one is tons of life right here. And this is what I use to back off as I'm leveling. I'm like, oh, I'll take a little bit less life and I'll get a little more damage or something like that. There's a lot of different damage nodes too. Here's damage. We could go down here for some more damage. There's a lot of damage around. Even technically right here is some damage. So, and over here, 12%. I think there's some 14%ers up here. Let's see. Oh, only 12. There's a 16 and a 12. Nice. So I think that covers... Oh, and then we're going to go over the very first thing you want to take when you're leveling up. Grab Carnage first. And then come over here and grab this one. Then this one. And as soon as you can, level 75 or whatever, grab Defy Pain. This is like a amulet that's called Defiance of Destiny. And it's kind of a mediocre version of that, but it helps. This is what kept us alive. This is what contributed to helping keeping us alive. I've tried the Life Leech instant. It's just not worth it. I could probably test it again. That's why I have lots of refund points, because I test things out and then I share it with you guys. But so far in my tests, it probably has to test again, but I'm liking this more than this. So Defy Pain, last one, but get it. That's the one I went with. I think we've covered the tree well enough now. Bunch of life nodes. If you type in life up here, it's just gonna, you know, it starts highlighting it poorly, but you can see there's life here. There's some life. Oh, it should be highlighting. I wish they did the highlighting better. It's barely flashing, but you can tell that it's kind of flashing. All right, cool. Oh, and the rune graft. I think I used this one right here. It adds 1 support level to all my jewels, support gems. So +1 level, +1. So if I get to a +6 or a plus, I can get this to +7 for awakened. And same thing here. If I get another level, so there's plenty of room for improvement on this character too. All right, let's go to the next thing. Let's talk about the flasks. You notice that I do not have a life flask. Until you get to the point where you're happy without having a life flask, I would use one of these right here. Get it to quality 20, and then see how the amount reduced in instant recovery when low on life. That's important. The secondary effect is not as important, but that's going to be your panic flask. Now, when you couple, if you do have this, what I would use is this Pantheon right here. 1 second. There we go. Instead of using this Pantheon, I would use this one, because it improves the flasks even more, the life flask. Once you don't use a life flask anymore, I would move to this. Nice. And let's go over the rest of the flasks. So once you get to the point where you're not using them, then you don't have to, but see how that suffix, if you hold down the Alt key, the suffix on the bottom, it can't be like I can't have armor here and armor here. It would overwrite it. As soon as this one fires off, it would overwrite it. So what I like to do out of habit is have armor on the armor flask and crit on the crit. That can be improved a lot. What tier is that? Tier 3, so that can be improved. What tier is that? Tier 4. Yeah, that can be improved. This one, reduced effect of curses on me. That's okay, but I can maybe get a secondary effect that's better than that. So you're going to have an armor, a diamond, well, for crits. This one is more damage, the increased damage one, and consecrated ground. If we hold down Alt, does it tell you what consecrated does? Percentage of their life. Allies and regenerate a percentage of their life, and curses has 50% reduced effect. So if I reduce the effect by that, if I can get a 50-50, then hopefully 100% reduced effect of the curses if I'm standing on the consecrated ground when this fires off, which is nice. This one, some leech on there. What level is that? This is definitely be improved. I haven't paid attention to these. Onslaught is cool. It makes you go faster and attack speed. There's another way you could get, you could swap this out and get an onslaught with the, on the boots with tailwind. You could go something like that. But for now, this is what we're doing. And then the last one is the speed flasks. And if you've noticed, all these are 20%. You could even technically get them higher than 20%. But they start to get even more expensive. But then they all have that used when charges equal full, which is right up here. And if you just put a flask in there, it should be like this one right here. Used when charges equal full. And you get that, if you don't have that unlocked, you should have got that unlocked right in your epilogue area. Right there. Also, and it's right by the, it's actually, you know, not by the waypoint, but it's over in that hut that when you first got into finished Act 10, it's right over there, so it's kind of through the tunnel a ways. Also, if you don't have certain things unlocked, let's see what we don't have locked. So accuracy, it tells you where to go to get the crafting recipe. So Western Forest, I just have to go through there and click on those things, and you know, prefixes, Coward's Trial, I got to do that map. Archives, you know, just like this. These are all, I'm working on all these. Nice. So that goes over all of these. Let's go over the gear now. if you've noticed, you run into a few issues. Accuracy is one. You're like, oh, I need a little more accuracy. Oh, I need more int. Oh, I need more dex. Well, if you want to just kind of relax on all that stuff, and what you want to find is, especially if it's a few days into the league, what you're going to do is you're going to search for a ring that has life on it and dexterity. So you'll have one ring that has life and dexterity. Now, we don't care about evasion, so that negative effect on there doesn't matter. We also have so much accuracy from this ring, 968, that 238 wasn't a big deal. Now, this ring can be improved still. We could find better ones. This one costs probably 2 or 3 divine. Same with this one. 1 to 3 divine would be a decent price for these rings. So, on this one, you can get it on either one. I got dex, life, and then I just said, well, show me all the dex life rings that I have, high dex and life. And then I picked from it. Over here, same thing. I went with int, and on this one I went int, accuracy, and life. Now the evasion doesn't matter. The energy shield, we hardly have any, so we take this off. We'd hardly have any. And this was a minion ring, so it helps our minions. This can be improved. It doesn't hurt. That's completely fine, and it's got plenty of life on it. So these 2 rings pretty much take care of my dexterity and my intellect, which is nice. This build is it doesn't need sockets hardly at all. So, for instance, these 4 sockets up here are pretty much all completely optional. So you're looking at 10 sockets easily that you just don't care about. So, Comb's Heart, no sockets, doesn't matter. And then what I did was I bought one. This is probably 1 divine. I bring this up and do a quick check. Yep, 1 divine 8 minutes ago for that increased life. And I think you can get that up to 6%. Let's see. Yeah, it could be a 6%. So there's little percentages everywhere that I can keep on adding on to make this get closer to like 12.5, 13. I've had this at 14.5, but it really wasn't needed, and I wanted more damage. So I'm comfortable at 12,500. When we took this off, we were down 8,600 and still completely fine. So, even 12,000 really isn't needed, but it's comfortable. And I have plenty of what you want to look at is if you have enough damage, you're good. And then you just get, plenty of health, so you don't have to, no one likes to die, so we just get enough health. And then if you don't, scale back on your health life nodes, get a little more DPS, push forward and do that. All right. Boots, I probably want to swap over to some Tailwinds boots. But you see these things, those 2 implicits at the top? If I hold down Alt, it'll tell it. It says Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds. And I'm like, well, what is that all about? Well, there's currency that you're going to use to roll those mods. Let's find out where that currency is. Right here. So what you do is, this is the Eater of Worlds. See how that reddish blue tint around there? So if I hold down Alt and it says Eater of Worlds, that's the 8% life regen. There's not a lot of good Eater of World mods that I like for the boots, so I just go with life regen, and then the 4 increased damage per endurance charge. We have about 4 endurance charges, so we get 16% increased damage. You can get a 5% one there if you use the more expensive versions. See how there's this version, then that one, and there's crazy expensive ones. These are dirt cheap. This one and this one is cheap to use, so just spam them and you're good to go. The boots, all you're going to look for is some life, and then a couple of resistances. Movement speed 25 to 30 is fine. If it has a if it has a suffix open down there at the bottom, it's nice because you can get, if you really need dexterity and intelligence, you can put it on there. I don't really need it, so there we go. And let's see what ones we have. 1 and 3. Put that back on. I went with a Stygian Vice. You can go with a regular belt, but this one's nice. It's got, again, life. The max life roll, you could have got that up to 12%. That could have been a 12% thing. Life, his strength is nice on there. Some lightning resist. Attack speed during any flask effect is really nice too. And the energy shield is bad. So that's the one that's useless on there. So that's what you kind of want to shoot for, is have less useless mods. That's just a waste of a slot that you need. And then the jewel, it has to be one of these kind of, like a hypnotic jewel or one of the abyssal jewels, because this is an abyssal slot. And then I put on there crit strike, and then increased damage over time while wielding a two-hander. That's okay-ish. We bleed some, but we make, we do bleeding, but this could be improved too. So there we go. So we went over everything on here. We went over the Comb's Heart. Let's take a look at the gloves. Increased damage while leeching. We're pretty much always leeching. Now, we stop leeching when we get back to full life, but because we have blood magic, which we took, it uses our life, so we're, we hit and then we're leeching back up. So that's on there pretty much, and we do get hit, so I like that we get hit, because then we can leech more. But then I got some regen on here. The evasion's not cool. The accuracy is optional. I'd probably go away from that. Let's see what our accuracy dips to. 98%. So this ring, if it didn't have that negative modifier on there, would be ideal. And I just hold down control to show. This is your extra keybinds down here, and then that's the regular ones. So same thing, the Eldritch Currency, if you hold down Alt. I rolled until I got the Searing Excerpt for the increased speed, and I went with Global Accuracy. What I would probably do is this next one, if it doesn't have the negative, if I can get Dexterity Accuracy on there with life, I'd be happy, and then I can just ignore all kind of, I wouldn't need any accuracy here. But you can see accuracy is an issue, because I didn't want to take any nodes on the tree for just accuracy. I'd rather pour those into pure DPS. So we went over all this. We went over this. Let's go over the helmet. I went with an armor-based helmet, and I qualityed it up with just a regular thing. And then, oh, there's accuracy again. Global accuracy. I went with life, armor. I had some rarity on there, and those two other. So this is definitely a candidate to be improved. Also, if you hold down Alt, these are two difficult things to roll. Because on helms, there's not a lot of good melee implicit rolls that you can get. So if you can get attacks, the increased area of effect and attack damage, you don't try to get in it. It's good enough. I don't think you could go over the list, but there's not many that are better. And this is hard to hit too. So I would go with those. So that's the helm. The weapon. This one can be improved as well. This one was, oh boy, about 40 divine right now. Let's see. I'm going to look it up right now. 35 to 45 divine for this weapon. And it's let's see, I'll double check. 1163 DPS. And that's what I just bought it. I saved up. I sold my other weapon, and then I was able to buy this weapon. But I would like a 1250. That's going to cost 55 to 60 divine probably. And I might even have to craft that myself. The mana per enemy killed, that doesn't help us. Accuracy doesn't really help us. We could have got 200 minus on that. Would have been fine. What else? Well, let's confirm that. Here's our attack. Do I need that 200 accuracy? Nope. There's just to give it the mana and the accuracy and the chance to bleed really isn't that important either. There's 3 mods on there that aren't really helping us. Oddly enough, the grant 11 per enemy hit actually helps us down in Delve in the darkness, because leech, while you're hitting things, it's not damaging, so you can't leech in the darkness, but life gain on hit does. Even though you're not damaging them, you still get your life gets boosted. So if you don't have torches down there and you get in the darkness in Delve, this will actually help you out. I'm good there. So then the item that keeps us alive with our Defy Pain from our Ascendancy is this item. Now you can get a cheap version of this for about 10 chaos. And you want to get the see that line where it says gain? You want to be at least at 19 to 20% of your life missing before the hit occurs, before the damage occurs. So what this does is, if I'm missing 1,000 life, and I get hit for 10 damage, well, it's gonna heal me for 240 life, and then take the damage of 10. So that's why you were seeing my life go way down. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't leeching. I was just standing still. Defy Pain works kind of the same way. It actually, at some points, Defy Pain eclipses this, but then the average, I think it was about, let's take a look. On average, Defy Pain roughly equals what? 10 seconds, gain defiance for 10 seconds on losing life to an enemy hit. So we get hit, because we can't evade. When it reaches 10 defiance, then you lose all your defiance stacks. And here's the crucial thing. 3% of our missing unreserved life before the hit, just like Defiance of Destiny. So on average, we have 1 to 10 stacks. Let's say you have 5 stacks. Well, that's 15% on average. Sometimes it's only 3, sometimes it's 30. We'll say 15%. And then we couple that with this. Now we're up to about 40% of our missing life on average comes back. So let's say we're missing 10,000 life and we get hit for 100. Well, that's a 4,000 point heal. Let's say it happens again. So you'd go from here, up to here, up to here, up to there. So you want to take those little hits. That's why I don't mind not being able, the evasion issue. I don't mind those little hits. In fact, if I had some little creature that could follow me that was immune, and it would just hit me for 1 health every second, I would, or every 10 times a second, you would be literally nearly unkillable. Not unkillable, because a massive hit can still hurt. So the only way to mitigate that would be to stack life, or stack life and stack armor so high that those big hits wouldn't hurt. But you got to have so much armor. And you saw us, we only had 3,000 and we were alive and fine, sort of, kind of. So that's the interesting. I think that covers all those. Now we're going to go over the gem sockets, the selection, and I'll explain why I do what I do on these things. Let's get into that. People ask about the Atlas tree as well. As you can see, all I really focus on for mapping is the delve nodes, because of this node right here. Where is it? This node right here. It gives you the buff to your speed, your increased damage, and your maximum elementals for about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then the third one would be 3 times as much for 1 minute and 20 seconds. The third sulfite mound that you click. And then I also do the shrines. And then I'm going to add in some strong boxes. But this is pretty much it. It's just this stuff. Mapping stuff, getting more stuff. That's all I do. You can do anything you want. I haven't found a really good gold strat that's cheap and easy to do. But so far that's it. Nothing fancy. Because the other thing is, you can just buy maps in bulk and not, so here it is trying to drop extra maps. Let's see, what is this one? To drop an extra map? Why? I don't care about that. I mean, if I could get rid of that and have it something else. But the map modifiers are the things that actually matter. So when we got a negative, this actually hurts worse because it amplifies that negative effect. That's why we had so little when we had the negative resists in a map, it'll go worse. So you think, oh, it's only 10 or 12 negative. Well, it's going to get multiplied by the total of this thing too. It's quite intense. Nice. Okay. If people are wondering about the clear speed with this, I have found 8 other kineticists since I made that video about the best kineticist that I've found yet. Each of those other kineticists,
Not just here to
I gave them the same gear and everything, did not beat the one I have. And I think it's because of the forking. The piercing was okay. Even this return thing wasn't better, even though they're level 83. Also, I think I'm going to get Culling Strike with
Not just here to stare, I hope.
Marked for Death. I'm going to put that on here. Right now I have Whispers of Doom on the gear for this guy. And then I went with increased area damage, increased effect. I stacked. It was important. I got the flat lightning damage is what I really wanted on here. On these two things. I noticed when I didn't have them on there, it didn't do nearly as well. The Merc. The Merc has only died once. And that was in the darkness. I think it died in the darkness. This Merc just doesn't die, no matter what I do. And there's lots of builds explaining what. I'll just hover over each thing. That's what as far as what I put on there. This one is the obliteration one. That's why it explodes the packs. So I'm going to add this one. I'm going to change that Whispers of Doom to Marked for Death so that it has Culling Strike. So at 10% we would have killed, anything. Because this doesn't seem to this one has the extra curse on there, but it doesn't seem to do the curse. Even though I have a curse right here, the cursed enemies with conductivity, that really helped out. I tried a couple different things. I tried the vulnerability and the conductivity, and I like the conductivity curse on hit better. But it doesn't seem to really be applying to this. This one doesn't seem to be really doing anything. So I'm going to switch it over to Culling Strike. But this is the key. Did I show all the different things? Increased damage there. That's nice. This is how we get our power and frenzy charges. And this just does the scorches. Nice. I think that's all the things. And then this is crucial. What you want to look out for. This is nice too. The Inspiring Cry. Haste, just so we move faster, and attack speed. That's cool. This doesn't seem to really matter. But this one, this matters right here. Greater Kinetic Blast with the cooldown recovery, and then this extra damage. So this is just the damage one, but this one is the one that does the clear speed, attack speed, greater forking, so they fork and they pierce. So that's why it's just able to just lay waste to everything. So that's what you want to look for. I've found 14 kineticists, about maybe 12, and none of them beat this one that I found. Just flat out was just amazing. There we go. And now we'll do the setup. Important to do on, I would do this on every melee character I have. Maybe not a Flicker Strike because of it eats up your frenzy charges. But this automation, get it to 20% quality, everything. Link it to Withering Step and Phase Run, and you're going to be sprinting around. Now, it doesn't fire off in your hideouts, but once you're out there, it just fires off, and it's just sprint, sprint, sprint. Really cool stuff. And it does if you don't attack, it won't get rid of the phase run too. So you can just run through things. I can just run and just run through things. And my Merc clears everything behind me, or, in front of everywhere. So it's really, really nice. So it's this one, plus that one, plus this one. And I use this because I don't have a lot of armor, so Molten Shell doesn't really, it scales with armor. So just use this one. And you get that whole buffer, the 2200 damage little shield buff, and it automatically removes bleeds every time this fires off. I've never died to a bleed. Once you put this on and it's automated and going full speed to steam ahead, you're in good shape. Cool. And if you have high enough dex, you can get these up to 20, 20, 20, 20. Same thing. And then if you have enough int, you'll be able to get this up to, it's only 98 int for that. Over here, is where we use Purity of Elements with Eternal Blessing. Now, it's crucial to use this together like that, because if you don't have that, watch what happens. 50%, because this normally costs 50% of your mana, but we convert all our mana usage over to life usage, so it would take half. But this allows us to have one aura for free, this Eternal Blessing. So this is free, and all these, if you hold down Alt, we're immune to being ignited, shocked, scorched, chilled, frozen, brittled, or sapped. The thing that can kill you a lot, you don't want to ever get frozen. Chilled even is no fun. Scorched and ignited is no fun, but shocked is really bad. When you're super shocked, all of a sudden, you'll just get torched. You'll just die. So, not good. But that saves us from everything. It's a quality of life issue. Just take it, and you'll have a good time. Nice. Berserk is my speed my booster, because I get up to about, I don't know, 43 or 46 rage, and then if it's something tough, I'll just press that button right there. I'll press W so that the Merc comes and stands closer to me, so we get better buffs from her. And then also I'll press that, and it's just a speed boost. What it does is it consumes the rage. Eventually it'll eat your rage right down, so you don't want to, if it's just regular creatures, you don't want to really use it. I just use it on the tougher bosses, so it's a boost. But I would say that's optional too. So you could put a Leap Slam here instead, just in case, but I don't use Leap Slam because I mostly delve. But you could put a Leap Slam here and not have that. Vitality, you could even get rid of this. You don't really need it, but it, what was it? Oh, the increased area effect, that would probably be cool. It would help a little bit, but our Merc doesn't die, then that's a no-go. But I mean, it's optional. Put 20 quality on it, and it'll reach out a little wider. If you are in a team, your team will appreciate the extra vitality. Only 200 life regen per second. That's optional and optional. So right now, we're down to 12 sockets that are completely optional. That's pretty amazing. Technically, you probably could get rid of Steel Skin and do something there too, something else too. But that's how that works. Now we're going to go up here. This is put in anything you want. I've tried all kinds of different setups here. I've tried cast when damage taken, the small, the lower level ones that do Frost Bomb and all kinds of different setups. I've tried Animate Guardian with a Culling Strike on his weapon. I didn't like that. It wasn't worth it to me. So what I've done is, if I take enough damage, how much damage do I have to take? 3,500 damage. Occasionally I take that, cumulatively. It's going to fire off this Stone Golem. The Stone Golem increases my defenses by 20%. And what else does he do? He increases the buff effect too. So we're looking at more than 100 life. Let's see, 100 life per second. What was it? I thought it was more than 105 life per second. If so, that's pretty lame. But it's something. So it buffs us up. Oh, and it does a little... let me do this for 1 second. All right. And trades, if you're offering to buy something, you always come to them. You always come to their hideout. So that person wanted to buy something for me, they come to me. Otherwise, you guys will be hopping back and forth with hideouts. You don't want to do that. So we link it to this. So when we take damage, he pops out. He does a I link this on this meat shield thing, so he's gonna be more protective of me. And then I actually this does a Frost Bomb, which if the Frost Bomb procs, it'll knock down life regen on monsters that are around this Frost Bomb area. So that's why I put that on there. But this is completely optional. And then you don't have to press the button for him. He's just gonna, he just sits down there, he pops out whenever you take damage. He dies fairly quickly, and then he pops back up and does it again and helps us. And then we're gonna settle on this one. Cyclone of Tumult. Right there, 20%. Get it to 20% on the quality, because if you don't hold down Alt, it doesn't increase your attack speed by 5%. it does a more multiplier, which is way, way, way better. So the very first thing you're going to do the 20% quality, which was these gems up here. Gem Cutter's Prisms, which you can buy from Faustus. And Gems Cutter Prism right here. These things. You want to start using them on all your... all the things that make sense. So if, you know, if this one, you hover over it, Infused Channeling, 2% less damage. If we put that, sure, I'll take 2%. So I'm going to quality that up to 20%. But we use Infused Channeling, and we get Fortify from the actual passive tree, so we don't have to have this on there. If you're using a regular set of armor, you can get Fortify by doing, it's either this one or this one, and you can roll it to the point where you get like 8 or 9% chance to Fortify on hit. That's plenty, and because you hit a lot, and you'll have Fortify that way. If I wasn't using Comb's armor, I would get Fortify that way and save, I think it's like 4 passive points. Pretty worth it. So we have that. We have Infused Channeling, which is more damage, which is a more multiplier, and then we take 14% less damage from hits. That's defensive and offensive. And because we have that rune graft back over there, it's elevated 1 level, so it's actually level 21. Pulverize just is more area damage, area of effect. Cool, I like it. And damage is good too. Awakened Brutality. We got the level 5 one. You can buy a cheap level 1 and then go into your menagerie, and you can go in there and you can use the bramble. Let's see, what's the name of them? Oh, that's a habit to go in there. You can go in here. You could put the gem in there, a level 1 gem, and then you could go into here, and let's see if we have any. I don't think so. Oh, we do. So you'd put a level 1 gem like this in there, and then you would fight them, and it would become level 2, then level 3, then level 4. I had an issue going from level 3 to level 4. One of my gems wouldn't work for some reason, getting grayed out. And then right up to level 5, you could even try or just buy a level 6 one, and this would be level 7 because of our modifier. And then we went with faster attacks with quality on it. I like that, just more and more attack speed. And then the awakened version of the melee physical damage. Also, when you get it, see how it says Intimidate? That's important. And the bleed. Make sure that yours should say that. Same thing here, the crushed enemies. Now, when you use Brutality, that also means, see how it says you can't do any chaos or elemental damage? Well, that's good that you can't do any elemental. That way you could do elemental reflect maps. But now that I have that Merc, I don't think we can do elemental. I haven't done an elemental reflect map either. So I have to look out for those 2 mods when I run a map. And then, yeah, just make sure it says the Crush, and then this one, the Intimidate. And this will bleed too. It'll bleed them as well then. And I think that is it. We've covered quite a bit. Let's see if we can use our... Yeah, we can just slash hideout. It'll port us right there. I covered a lot. I probably missed some things, but I hope that helps. I did the first thing where we did the face tank of the tier 17 boss, and I did my first carry. I never thought I could do that, and it was easy. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have a good time, guys. Enjoy. I have a lot of fun with this. And this is just a regular tier 7 or tier 16 beach map. I just want to show you what this guy can do real quick again. I'm not going to attack anything. This is just my it's just my Merc. He's running around. It's just silly. And I wonder if he can do the end. The what do you call it? Like the boss thing. Where's there a thing over here?
You are nothing.
Oh, right here. Hard to click it. There it is. In the cloud. Let's see. Can he actually do this boss too? Let's see if he does it.
Feel that shit.
Not really. There's his life. I'm hovering over him. I mean, he could slowly whittle him down, but he's more of a mapper. And then if we take over... Oh, he's tough. What else he got on him? There, I'll use my turbo button. Where'd he go? Oh, he's dead. Nice. I like it. Have a good one, and enjoy, guys. Ooh, here we go. Let's knock this guy.
Pick your path.
We'll just take his
Walk
loot.
it alone. Let fear be
And
your
we'll-
gospel.
Just go like that, and he should die pretty quick.
Speak for no god.
Beautiful.
Take it in. Makes no difference
Can
to
even
me.
do this. I wonder if he can do a... Can he do one of these?
Way, Exile.
Let's see if he can do one of these, but we're not going to move. We're just going to sit here like this. Ooh, nice. He's doing the work for me. And the tougher ones, he's got to be it. We got to help him, right?
Know your place.
No, maybe not. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I should... Poison can hurt me still. There's a way you can make yourself poison immune very cheaply as well, but I usually don't care about poison. Click this one. Oh well. Alright guys, before I get carried away, I have fun with this. Easy stuff, just stand in the middle, do all the stuff. Don't let the poison balls drop you on the head. Oh, there's a tougher guy. There we go. Ooh, let's see if I can do a breach. I'm sorry guys, I just have a lot of fun with this. Come on, this is not even a big breach. There he goes. I'm trying not to, you know, I'm trying not to do anything except walk. Come on, more. Want more creatures? That's just my Merc doing all that. But you can get a good Merc. Right, can be good. We'll take that. And we'll take that and that. Nice.